ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಟೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೈತಾ?
Okay. Good morning. All okay. All are mute. So good morning. I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Today I will going to discuss about introduction to UGC MOOC course and also Swayam because you are all familiar with all these terminologies as far as University Grant Commission introduced for massive open online courses under the Swayam platform. Then also you are all well versed with some of the regulations. What is there in the regulation of as far as University Grant Commission with respect to online courses. Then also some of the faculty already you are familiar with joining some courses introduced by that APIT, that annual refresher program in teaching. These are all some of the content we are going to discuss. As far as an understanding, I think by and large, you are all aware of it. One of the interesting thing is under the Ministry of Education, they also main focus on what has to be done for the gross enrollment rate in higher education. Looking the data, as far as an understanding, 2013 to 14, there is only 23%. Now gradually is increasing as far as the gross enrollment rate is one of the interesting thing. The second important, we need to understand as an expenditure on education, this is something we need to be linking with GDP. So taking into consider what is the GDP share with respect to the education is concerned. So under the thing probably given for the 2.8% for there, now 3.1%. Now as far as National Education Policy 2020, they wanted to make for the 6% GDP contribution. This is something already there in the documentation. This is some of the thing probably given value addition to the as well as for the higher education as well as for the education in the ministry. Then looking other important, some of the attempt already made as far as for the ICT initiatives, because by and large you are aware of it, information and communication technology is playing very important role for the entire in the education, especially in the education. Looking the various attempt as far as for the government of India as well as for the Ministry of Education, we are all aware of it as far as for the blended mode teaching and learning. This is something very important, because as far as NEP also given for the more emphasis given for the how to taking for the designing the curriculum with respect to blended mode teaching and learning. This is something very important. Then already they made UGC, there is a guidelines called a framework regulation called as ABC credit, that is for the academic bank credit. This is something already there in the NEP. Then also there is a separate regulation was introduced by the University Grant Commission. Under the thing, we can earn the credit. Any student can earn the credit. They can able to. They can join for the any other university or any other institute. They can earn the credit that can be incorporate ESR or mark sheet. This is something already there in the as well as for the academic bank credit. Then also you will give for the framework. Then further understanding as a open education resources, because by and large you are aware of it. Anyhow, this is there is a separate session. They will discuss about open education resources. As far as an understanding, looking for the various initiative, looking NMICT, because by and large, National Mission on Education through ICT, Information and Communication Technology, this is one of the initiative as far as taking to consider in the entire education system. They will making for the how to integrate for the information and communication technology. Then another initiative called as NPTEL, this is National Program on Technology Enabled Learning, because this is NPTEL is the one of the most successful accessing video for the entire globe. Whatever the content is made available in the NPTEL, this is the most visited YouTube channel for the entire globe. This is some of the things probably you need to understand. Then EPG Partshal, this is something already there in the content. Whatever the content already they prepared for the various tiered professor, these content are made available under the EPG Partshal with respect to the various subjects. This content can be used as a teacher. Then also you can suggest to your student for this other content, make use for the further enhancing your knowledge or whatever the thing. Then another important national digital library. This is something because Indian Institute of IIT Kharagpur is the national coordinator for the entire country. Probably can able to access more than 4 crore digital repositories made available for India. Probably my advice is probably in your college or maybe in your university, probably as per somebody there in the library, probably you need to register under the NDL. You can access for there are almost 4 crores digital repository over there. These content probably can have some of the important that whatever the journals also made available under these national digital. This is something already there. Then under the Swayam, because you are all very well versed in the thing, under the massive open online courses is playing very important role in the entire in the present scenario, not only for India, taking part in the global. Then also you are all heard about somebody working in the government of Karnataka. Probably you are all well versed with these using for the learning management system. This is again LMA is also introduced. This is something very important. Then another important, as far as an understanding, is Bloom's taxonomy, because this is something very important. Because under the NEP also they brought out the Bloom's taxonomy. Then also we are discussing about outcome-based education. Under the outcome-based education, whenever you framing any kind of that whatever the in your introducing any kind of subject or maybe in your new curriculum, then again we need to be follow what is the outcome-based learning. Then also we need to be follow what is in the Bloom's taxonomy. Then what are the weightages is given for the each unit. This is something very important. This is something you need to be keep in mind whenever you discussing something. Then as a further understanding, looking the entire data set are taking for the as a population, almost taking for the 650 million of the population in the age group of 0 to 24 years. This is something we call it as a demographic dividend. Probably this demographic dividend will help you as an advantage for India. Probably now, as far as an understanding, why the demographic dividend they call it in India, because for the upcoming days, probably upcoming year, India will lead for the entire growth with respect to the more robust working population. Probably these 0 to 24 years, that whatever the major share population will be generating, then converting for the working population, then again there will be more economic generation, something like that. Then looking the data of internet penetration, because this is already there in the some of the data you're all versed with the thing. Again, India is the second highest. Then also some of the taking the growth trend of the penetration, probably taking for the 2% was there in 2006. So at present, almost 50%, including both and rural users around taking into account some numbers. This is something probably we need to be focused on our education system as far as an understanding. What is the under the digital era? Then what is the role of information and communication technology? Then also taking into consider. Then also we need to be look into it various initiative as far as Ministry of Education or maybe Government of India with respect to as well as translating for the as well as for the education is concerned. Then this is something because by and large this is available in the internet. This is only probably taking for the EMMRC probably need to understand. So what is the taking into probably looking the thing probably almost 241 million emails sent in EMMRC. This is something very important. Then also taking for the by and large you are available various other apps and other things. This is something understanding for the what is the share of this internet usage in a minute. Then looking other thing is what is the rise of mobile traffic as well as an understanding probably taking into consider for the 2009 to now taking for 2023 almost 60% is there. And this is something is rapidly increasing. This is data so that probably we need to be orientation of our education with respect to whatever the initiative under the information and communication technology as well as the massive open online code. These are all some of the as a gist for understanding for the overall trend, what is going on for the entire country as well as for the entire globe with respect to the in the changing dimension as well as for the in the digital India is concerned. Then we have another important, we call it as a positive trend, lifelong learning instead of learn, retire. This is something because in the earlier concept we have the learn, retire. Now they're having the concept of lifelong learning. Then some of the interesting thing is future of work is online based because by and large you're all aware of it. Day-to-day activities also you're making depend on the only for the online. So this is something probably in the future work is mainly based on the online. Then also Government of India under the Minister of Education also made so much rupee they're spending for developing and translating for the digital course content for the next 5 years. So this is again, this is the share of the teachers. Probably as an individual teacher, we need to be participate as well as for the creating the content. Then also developing the MOOC courses. That is why so much rupee they're spending for the another 5 years as well as for the Ministry of Education for developing for the MOOC courses under the Swayam platform. Then understanding for the different e-learning techniques, because you are all familiar with some of the faculty, probably you have made some kind of video content, probably you uploaded in the YouTube, or maybe some of the thing probably you are Google Classroom, or maybe Swayam. Then also very important, there is a Swayam Prabha, then also EPG part. These are some things where they probably can discuss in the later. Then also one of the pillars of the digital learning initiatives, India started for the Swayam under the National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology. This is an initiative. Then taking for the platform, this is something because already we are all well versed with the thing Swayam as well as for the massive open online courses, understanding for the thing. So here, my contention is as far as an understanding, massive open online courses is the course we are designing based on whatever the guidelines, whatever the framework already they set it in the massive open online courses, as well as for the either maybe University Grant Commission or maybe whichever the national coordinator is for the entire country. The platform is, again, we call it as a Swayam is the platform. Whichever the courses you have developed, that courses is made available under the Swayam platform. So this is something we need to keep it in mind. The Swayam is there as well as a platform that is for the indigenously built platform for in India. So any courses you have developed under the books that need to be run it under the Swayam platform. Just like what we call it as a learning management system. What is there in the under the learning management system? Same kind of thing. Learning management system is there under the Swayam platform. Some of the faculty already you are aware of it. This learning management system. Then also what is the use of learning management system? Probably by and large you are aware of it. Then moving to the next important as well as for the Bloom's taxonomy. This is something whenever you developing for the new courses as far as an understanding. Then also taking for the developing the any new courses as well as for the framing the syllabus. So this is something very important. As a teacher, we need to be involved for developing the courses. We need to be followed what is there in the Bloom's taxonomy. Because by and large, we are aware of it. Taking into account either you are talking for the developing the MOOC courses under the undergraduate or maybe postgraduate. We have some kind of credit, either credit system, either taking for the fourth credit or as far as the UGC suggested, under the MOOC courses need to be developed for the fourth credit, for the thing something there in the thing. Under the fourth credit, again, you are making for the devising the each that whatever the syllabi of these MOOC course. Then also taking for the what is the weightage is given for these Bloom's taxonomy. This is something very important. Which is the weightage is given for the remembering, which is the weightage is given for the understanding, which is the weightage is given for the apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. So this is something there is the thing. By and large, looking for these Bloom's taxonomy, again, evaluated based on the outcome-based learning for the Indian universities or maybe public universities or maybe central universities. Some extent, we can up to apply or maybe analyze. Some extent, we can make use of. But we are given for the very limited scope in our curriculum with respect to evaluate as well as for the creativity. So this is something is missing. Probably when you developing for the MOOC courses, we need to be given for the equal weightages of all these 6 elements. That need to be keep it in mind whenever you're developing for the MOOC courses. Then further understanding for the open education resources, because already told, because this is a separate content, because some other resource person will be discussing about. So what do you mean by open education resources? Only thing you should have an understand, the NPT is also one among the open education resources that's made available for the entire country. You can freely access for the whatever the content is made available under the National Program of Technology Enabled Learning. Then also taking into concept for the National Digital Library, then also very important, you are all familiar with ImplementNet. Under the ImplementNet, universities are there enrolled under the ImplementNet. They are also accessing for the various digital repository. This is something probably need to be kept in mind. Then also UNESCO also making a lot of attempt for OER commons for accessing for the general public or maybe various content is made available. This is something we need to be keep it in mind. Then looking the data of as well as for the growth of massive open online courses in the global scenario, understanding this was initiated in 2012. Probably you are all familiar with the thing, probably MIT and then Harvard. These are all the 2 universities. They started for the as a concept of massive open online courses. Based on the thing, initially you looking the data funding is taking into consideration for the so much billion they spent, but taking into consideration learners is only for the limited people. Then later, taking for the university partner, only 40 universities were there for the entire globe. Then only limited courses are made available under the massive open online courses. Probably taking for the present, also you're taking for the 2023 or maybe 2020. These are all the numbers is increased very rapidly. Taking for the funding, then also taking for the learners, then also partners, then also taking for the courses. 250 courses were there in the earlier. Now the almost 16,000 courses are made available. This is something we need to understand. This is for the global scenario as well as for understanding for development growth of the MOOC courses is concerned. Then taking under the massive open online courses, because already we are aware large enrollment number, no mandatory qualification. This is something there is nothing, no mandatory qualification, but as far as per the courses is made available under the UGC as well as for the Swayam platform, that is applicable for the from 9th standard to up to post graduation. These are all the courses are made available under the massive open online courses. Then also this is fully online. Then courses is structured course content is online. Then also taking into account unlimited participation. This is something very important. Then also given for the basic philosophy of the MOOC is anytime, anyone and anywhere. This is something very important. As soon as you're joining the course, then probably you can access this course content for the anywhere. Whenever you're traveling, probably you can log in, then you can view the video whenever you there, anywhere, anytime. Only thing you should have in your Android mobile as well as for the internet connection. This is something the basic philosophy of the MOOC courses. Then, as well as these are the some of the things as a growth trend taking into consider. Then also number of registration. This is something very important because taking into gradually they're increasing for the number of courses made available and also taking the number of registration. This is something gradually growing. Looking the national coordinator, probably whenever you free, just you can type it in the Google. That is for the Swayam Central. Directly will take you to the Swayam Central website. Based on the thing, probably we'll able to see the how many courses are made available. Then also these are all the courses again they given for the each cycle. There is a sub kind of whatever the thing we call it as a semester, whatever the commencement of the semester, ending of the semester, same thing they followed under the Swayam platform. Usually they will release the subject in the as well as for in the May ending of May. Then probably then almost the enrollment will get it over by August or something like that. Because of the COVID. Probably still there is some kind of missing gap for that whatever the matching with our calendar, there is some missing component. Other than that, probably they line for the entire country, they're using for the common date for e-cycles. As on today, we are running for the 11th cycle. Probably 11th cycle means almost 5.5 years because University of Mysore is the first university for the southern state. We implemented for the Swayam courses. We are running for the 11th cycle. This is for the 5.5 year. We are running the courses. Looking the entire in the Swayam courses, probably almost 203 partnering institutions taking into consideration for the state universities, central universities, as well as deemed universities. Then also this number also increased. Then also looking the courses, almost 9,200 courses is made available already. They developed by the various peer professors for the respective universities as well as for the institutions. They prepared for the so many courses. Looking the thing, almost 3 crore students have enrolled for this so far, starting from the inception to till today. Almost 3 crore students have enrolled. Then taking for the examination registration as well as the successful certification. This is something we need to be keep it in our mind. Looking the thing, so many students have enrolled. So much the number is almost 3 crores. But looking for the examination registration only it come to 26 lakhs. Then again taking for the successful certification only 16 lakhs. So this is something very important. We need to be understand because all the students were enrolling. But again, very limited student going for the taking for the examination registration. Then only limited student will complete the overall registered for the appeared for the examination. Only that number is drastically reduced because of various reasons. This is something we need to be understand. Then some of the statistics, because already given national program on technology enabled learning is the most visited academic YouTube channel in the world. This is something we need to be keep it in mind. Then also bring it to your student who are all interested. Probably whenever you free, just go to the NPTEL. Then they can access for the various content is made available, video content as well as for the whatever the subject is interested. This is something we need to be keep it in mind. Then further understanding again as well as for in the global scenario, we need to understand for the various MOOC courses because each course are there for the some kind of thing courses. Then also given for the some kind of phases. Then also instructors. This is something very important. Whenever you're taking for the global scenario, some of the courses is made available for the paid courses. We need to be paid so much money for the whenever you enrolling the courses. Then some of the courses made available for the free of cost. Probably looking for the data as well as for the Swayam in the Swayam platform. So anybody enrolling the courses with a free of cost. Only thing they have to pay for the examination fee. If the candidate is secured more than 40%, then again the same amount will be credited for the her is account as well as for the this is the as well as for the norms is fixed by the University Grant Commission. Then some of the courses is schedule driven as a self-paced. Since schedule driven means because already there is some kind of already there is in the whatever the time frame already they fixed. We need to be followed what is there in the time frame. Some of the courses made available for the self-paced based on our convenience. We need to be fixed it. What time or maybe what is the probably we need to be take for the instead of 4 months probably we're taking for the 8 months. You're taking for the 9 months because whenever you free probably we need to be scheduled based on our convenience. So these are all the courses is not available under our Swayam platform. If you go to the global in the context, probably whichever the courses available in the Moodle or maybe taking in the various other platform, we can have a flexibility for the self-paced courses. Then taking for the as an instructor, we have the university courses, then also private firms. So these are all the some of the things. So many private firms also they started for the developing the new courses, then also bring it under the various platforms. This is something very, very important. Then also you are all aware of it. Overall working in the universities, probably University Grant Commission has given for the more emphasis given for the you can run the full online courses instead of taking for the partially you can run the entire courses in the online because taking for the University of Mysore also we are running for so many courses in the online either in the post graduation as well as for the undergraduation. This is something again that is put under the our individual platform. You can run the courses. This is something we need to be keep it in mind. Then taking for the understanding for the platforms because already you are aware of it because Swayam is the that is indigenously built that is for the we call it as a platform of in India. They're taking into concept for running for the massive open online courses as well as for the various platforms is available for the entire globe. Taking for the edX, probably you're all some of the faculty are all familiar with all these platforms: edX, Course Builder, Blackboard, VJIQ, Moodle, Udacity. These are all the various platforms they're running for the so many MOOC courses. Under these platform, probably you can run, you can enroll any courses, then also get the certification. This is something very important, probably that will give an advantage for the as a teacher. Probably you have some kind of some of the interesting courses made available for in the various platform. So this is very important. We need to be understanding for the various platforms as well as for the overall the players for the developing for the MOOC courses. As far as for the India is concerned, only for the Swayam is the only platform for offering for the massive open online courses under the government of India and under the state of Minister of Education. Then understanding for the I will given for this just I'll take 1 or 2 minutes for this global platform edX. This is something very important because already aware of it. This is entire the concept of MOOC courses is evolved by MIT and Harvard. They started for the massive open online courses. They started in the May 2012. Then later they made it for the so many courses is made available. This is one of the interesting thing is probably also enrolled so many faculty already familiar with these are all the courses is enrolled. Then getting the certification from the MIT and Harvard itself is a great opportunity for the thing. So one of the interesting thing is looking for all these data set. Even so many students are enrolling as a participant. Finally, they're very difficult to complete the course because of various reasons. Because of this, there is so many that whatever the schedule of activity or maybe whatever the schedule phase, they made it for the various stringent thing. Probably we need to be submit the online assignment, you need to prepare for the online group discussion. So many parameters were there. As a teacher, we don't have a time to participate or we don't have a time to view the video or so many other reasons. So these are all some of the things were there. Even finally, recently they made for the evaluation of all these in the entire globe, whichever the courses offered by MIT and Harvard, only 10% of the whatever the participant they're getting for the certification. So rest 90% only they enrolling, but various reasons. Probably they don't have a time or maybe various reasons they will not able to get the certification because of this. They will not participate in the various either maybe submission of assignment online quizzes, so many other reasons. So this is something where there is nothing in the global scenario. This is something probably whenever you free, probably you can go to the edX. Probably there is a plenty of courses is made available. You can log in, you can join the courses, but only thing under the edX, we need to be enrollment, we have to pay for this some kind of dollars. So that is for the, there is each course, there is some kind of fee structure already there in the thing. Probably we need to be pay the fee, then I can enroll for the under the edX platform. Then taking for the under the NPTEL, because already this was initiated in the year of 2003. This is a national program on technology enhanced learning under the NPTEL. This is again funded by the NMICT, National Mission on Education through Information and Communication and Technology. Earlier it was there at the Ministry of Human Resources. Now we call it as Ministry of Education. Looking under the NPTEL as well as for the online web and video courses, this is again mainly focusing for the engineering, then again science, technology, management and humanities. This is again, I'll recall. One of the interesting thing is under this NMICT as well as for the NPTEL program, only limited partners were there. They probably taken in the 7 IITs, 1 IICs there in the partnering institution for the NPTEL. Based on the thing, each cycle they're releasing more than 200 plus courses. So this is something very important. The entire MOOC courses under the Swayam platform is made available in the 2 cycle. For the 6 months once, there is a 2 cycle, what we call it as a semester. Based on these courses, again, taking for the thing, as far as an understanding, in the entire country, we have almost, earlier it was there, the 600 plus, probably now you're taking for so many deemed universities, so many private university, central university, there, whatever the thing, probably almost you have some kind of 800 plus or maybe 900 universities were there for the entire country. Based on the thing, only we were very difficult to producing for the almost 50 to 60 subjects. Probably looking for the thing, probably when we started in the first cycle, at that time almost 100 subjects were there. Now in the recently last September, that whatever August that were the 11th cycle is enrollment is closed, almost 41 subjects. This is something we need to understand, as well as understanding for the teachers involving for the developing the MOOC courses is gradually decreasing, as well as for the universities is concerned. Not in the IITs as well as for the IICs. This is something already there in these IITs as well as for the IIC. They made mandate for each faculty should have one MOOC courses need to be developed. This is a mandate already there. So that is the thing. As far as an understanding, by and large, each cycle they're releasing almost 200 plus courses are made available under the MTA platform. But the only thing is, there is an, as well as for the UGC University Grant Commission, as well as for the various other national coordinator are made available for the entire country. Very limited courses is made available because of the very limited faculty were involved for developing the MOOC courses. This is something we need to be keep it in mind. Then another interesting aspect, by and large, you are all aware of it. Past, I think, almost 5 to 6 years, we didn't get any fund from the University Grant Commission with respect to major research project. Any faculty are getting for the major research project funded by the University Grant Commission past 5, 6 years. So this is something, as far as an understanding, they even for the indirectly encouraging for the MOOC courses. Any faculty involving for the developing the MOOC courses, then they given for the funding of almost 13.5 lakh. So this is again given for the, instead of taking for the major research project, they've given for the MOOC courses that has to be done it within 4 months or whatever. Probably we'll discuss in the next in the later version as well as for understanding. Then whenever you're taking for the entire MOOC courses, we need to understand for what are the instructional design we need to be followed and while you're developing for the MOOC courses. Because we have some kind of setup principle we need to be followed. Then also there is some procedure we need to be followed. Then also instructional materials, license. So many components we need to be followed while developing for the MOOC courses. We call it as a ADI model. Then taking for the analyze the learners. Then also design. Then how we are going to be developing. How we are going to be implementing the whatever the courses. Then also we need to be understand for the evaluation. This is, I think, by and large you are all aware of it. That is for the ADI model. Taking for the analyze the learners, then what is the state of objectives, then also taking for the what are the methods, media and materials, then also how to use for these media and materials, then also taken into consideration how to that require learner participation, evaluate and these are some of the ADI model you are all familiar with in the various day-to-day whatever the courses you are developing in your institute. Then, as an approach, we need to be followed for the 7 main categories. One is core requirement, structure of the courses. Then also taking for the participant requirement. Then taking for the assignments, media design, communication, and resources. These are all the 7 important categories we need to be followed while developing for the MOOC courses. One of the interesting thing is core requirement. We need to understand for the overall the audience, whether we are developing for the undergraduate courses, whether we are developing for the courses only for the postgraduate student, or we are developing for the heterogeneous. We are integrating it. Some of the courses is made available. Any undergraduate as well as for the postgraduate student can enroll the courses. Or maybe some of the courses can be developed by the, that can be allowed for the in general. Either maybe whichever the graduate, undergraduate, or maybe postgraduate, or maybe any general public also they can join the courses. This is something like that. That has to be decided by the, whenever you're deciding for the developing the MOOC courses, you decide for the overall the target audience, whether your course is developing for the as in undergraduate or maybe postgraduate or maybe in general. This is again you need to be decided as a teacher. Then structure of the courses, because we need to understand for the number of units. By and large, again we are referring for the, whenever you framing our syllabus, we are referring for the whichever the subject or whichever the paper you are offering. Then also you devise the by and large, probably you are all familiar with the thing, probably taking for in the undergraduate level or maybe postgraduate level. We are almost taking for the unit of 4 or whatever the thing, unit of 4 or 5, 6, whatever the thing. Based on this number of units, then you are deciding for the which are the units we probably given for the some scope for the quiz elements. Then also some of the video lecture component. These are all the some other things. The structure need to be decided whenever you framing the syllabus of the particular subject. Before start any developing the MOOC courses, first we go to the website of that whatever the Swayam portal, because already more than 10,000 courses is made available. Just based on the thing, probably whatever the title you have decided for the developing the MOOC courses, once again you check it in the Swayam Center, whether the same title already is made available in the Swayam platform. If it the same courses is made available in the Swayam platform, probably they will not approve the courses. So only thing is the 10,000 courses is made available already in the Swayam platform. So whichever the subject as a teacher you are interested to developing the MOOC courses, just go to the website of Swayam portal. Whichever the title you want to develop the that whatever the MOOC courses, probably type it in the title, then check it. In the same title, is there any courses already available in the Swayam platform? This is something you make sure that you need to be check it out. Then again, taking into consider the participant requirement, then again, this is something very important, because under the Swayam platform also, there will be some of the courses is exclusively made on only for the credit transfer. Because this is again, whenever you're developing for the subject in the credit transfer, this is only for whichever the student currently pursuing for the undergraduate as well as for the postgraduate student. That student can be allowed for credit transfer. This is something very important. Then some of the courses is available for the only for the certification. Probably some of the participants will only join the course. They will get the certification. This is something very important. Then as a developing for the course coordinator, you decide it whether you want to develop for the entire course in the credit transfer or you want to make it as a certification courses. So this is something very important. Then also taking for the online and procured exam. This is again, it is earlier in the first cycle that is conducted by the, as well as for the understanding for the UGC-NET. That is for the thing in the entire country. Under the UGC-NET is conducted for the entire country. That is for the cell was there in the separate. Then later they were created for the new agency called as National Testing Agency. Probably as an from this second cycle onwards till today, the National Testing Agency conducting for the Swayam examination for the entire country, either in the online or maybe procured exam. These online and procured exam, that has to be decided by the course coordinator. Whenever you're developing the course, you decide the entire course need to be done it in the online, or maybe you want to take in the examination, done it in the procured exam. That pen paper need to be used. So this is something we decided by the course coordinator. That's why you need to understand. Then taken into consideration the assignment, formulated a clear understanding of the whatever the heterogeneous audience or whatever. This is something we need to keep it in mind. Then taking for the media design, creative common license, this is again it will take care of the whatever the understanding on the platform, they will make use of the thing. Then also taking for the various communication via forms, charts, discussion, this is something for there. Because entire as well as for the MOOC courses is concerned, each MOOC courses by and large, the majority of courses having for the 4 credit. Under the 4 credit courses, they are given for the taken into consideration for the thing. There is also whatever some of the weeks, then also some models also they will given. So based on the thing, then also given for the as per the evaluation method. Under the evaluation method, then given for the entire country, 70% is given for the as well as for this an examination. The 30% is the internal assessment. Under the 30% internal assessment, you decide it under the 30 marks how you are going to evaluate. Whether you want to make for the taking for the online quiz, or you want to make it is from the assignment form, or you want for the group discussion. So that has to be decided by the as a course coordinator. This is there in the thing. Then resources is openness of the matter. This is again that taken by the whichever the platform they're using. These are the some of the things probably we need to be as a teacher, we need to be keep it in mind whenever you're developing for the MOOC courses. Then under the Swayam, because already you are aware of it, this as well as for the as well as the Swayam is concerned, then also taking for this initiative of the massive online courses to the learner throughout the country. Then also taken into consideration for the three cardinal principle, taking for the access, equity, and quality. This is something very important. Then also, these are all the courses is made available from the 9th class to till post graduation to be accessed by the anyone, anywhere, and anytime. This is something already you are aware of it as well as for the under the Swayam platform. Then under the Swayam, this is a one-stop web and mobile-based interactive platform courses ranging from high school to university level. Then also taken into consideration high quality learning experience using multimedia anytime, anywhere. This is something very important because by and large you are aware of it. So many because in your houses probably some of the your children's already they're accessing for the Byju's, probably Byju's or various other education platform provided by the commercial. So this is something very important because I'll tell you one case example because we are developing for the massive open online courses for administrative training institute that is for the government of Karnataka, that is for the officers. Under these courses, because they are suggesting us instead of we are following for the what is there in the Ministry of Education under the Swayam platform, we are following the guidelines for the under the minimizing for the animation under the because very important the costing also playing very important role. Probably each courses as well as for the University Grant Commission, they'll give on funding for 13.5 lakh for funding for developing for the one courses in the 4 credits or whatever that. But as far as an understanding, whenever using for the high-end animation and multimedia, probably we require for the use funding. Probably suppose you take for the whichever the courses made available on Byju and other things, lot of animations were there, lot of pictorial definitions were there, lot of various other graphical presentations were there. So these are all the things that use money they're spending for creating the animation and multimedia. Probably if you take for the 4 credit course, we are developing for 13.5 lakh. Probably in the Byju and various other private players, probably they're spending for the more than 50 lakh rupees for developing for the one course in the 4 credits. So this is something very important because we need to be followed what is it because we are in the university setup. We need to be followed for the what is there in the guidelines of the University Grant Commission for the developing the course. This is something very important. Even though we have the very good high quality learning experience for the multimedia and other kind of thing. Then also taken into consideration for the state-of-the-art system that allows easy access and monitoring the certificate. This is something as soon as in the earlier cases, any student is enrolling the courses, then also taking for the they're taking for the online attendance. Online attendance means suppose you taken into consideration the particular person is a particular participant is in the dashboard login in the particular course. Then also taken into consideration for the counting the time of how much time is taken for the viewing the video. Whichever the video is on, probably they'll count out in the whatever the time period, then finally they're taking for the attendance. They're taking because the minimum 75% attendance for the appearing the exam. This was done it for the earlier stages. Later make for some kind of leverage that based on the capability of the student, they can view for the any time they can learn, they can take it into consideration for the entering for the examination or something like that. Then also there is some of the courses is developed for the peer group interaction, discussion with the various clarifying the doubt. Probably each courses they'll give some kind of weightages for the peer group. Whatever the doubt is there, probably that need to be clarified for the interaction with the student with respect to the online. This is something for there. Then also taken into the hybrid model of delivery that adds the quality of the classroom teaching. Then another important, the entire Swayam platform that managed by the Microsoft. This is something very important. When we join for the first cycle, there is a lot of issues for that. Whichever the student enrolled for in the first cycle, they are finding difficulty for accessing for the various video content because of the streaming taking time. There's where bandwidth is not there. So many issues were there in the first cycle. Now the Microsoft is taken for the in the entire country providing for the under the whatever the these bandwidth and whatever the streaming of the video and the entire thing. Based on the thing, probably in a minute, probably 20,000 students you can view the video for the in a minute. This is something very important. They'll given for the under the Swayam platform. This is something there in the under the Microsoft is given for the bandwidth as well as for the accessing for the video streaming or video content. This is something for the. Then looking for the entire country, almost 9 national coordinators were identified at the time when you developing for the MOOC courses. The one of the thing is University Grant Commission that is taking into consider. They are given for the postgraduate degree program that has to be given for the University Grant Commission. By 2021 onwards, as soon as that taking into consider for the after COVID, there was some issues from the University Grant Commission because there is very difficult to coordinate or various things. These all the things they'll given for the CEC, that for Consortium for Education and Communication, both undergraduate and postgraduate program that need to be developed by the CEC Delhi. This is something changes were there. Then taking for the NPTEL, all engineering and technical courses of the UG and PG program that is coordinated by the National Program on Technology Enabled Learning. Then again, this NPTEL is mainly controlled under the ACT. Under the ACT, this NPTEL is there in the thing. Then again, Consortium for Education Communication, they are providing for the earlier, they are providing for the undergraduate program. Now they are also taking for the both undergraduate as well as for the postgraduate program. Then looking for the IGNO, also providing for some of the diploma courses as well as for the certification courses. Then also NCERT is the national coordinator for providing for some of the school education from class 9 to some standards. Then also taking for the National Institute for Open Schooling, also they'll give some kind of given for this national coordinator. Then again taking for the IIM B is the national coordinator for the management program. Then also one of the interesting is NITA. This is for the National Institute for the Technical Teacher Training and Research Institute. It's in Chennai, and also there in the various, I think in the entire country, there is a 4 or 5 NITA schools for there. They are mainly focusing for teacher training program. So whatever the thing we started discussing for the ARPIT, annual refresher program in teaching, whichever the program is made available under the ARPIT, this is again the national coordinator is the NITA. NITA is the taken the initiative for developing the courses, especially for national, that whatever the ARPIT program, annual refresher program for the teaching. This is again, these are 9 national coordinators for there in the entire country for coordinating for the courses. Then looking various things, because already we are aware, this is the digital platform anywhere, and because by and large we are aware of it. Then one of the thing probably we need to be keep it in our mind, 20% of the credit weightages for the student for the courses under the Swayam platform. This is again taking for the earlier when the 2018 there is an guidelines introduced by the University Grant Commission as well as for the ACT. Based on the guidelines, up to 20% of the credit weightage is given for this. Probably looking your entire, probably somebody teaching in the post graduation level, probably each semester probably on an average probably 22, 20, 26, 24 credit or whatever the thing. Based on the thing, one subject need to be allowed under the Swayam platform. Suppose if you are stringently implementing for 2018 guidelines of what are there in the University Grant Commission for under the credit framework, probably 20% of the credit we need to be given weightages for the as well as for the Swayam is concerned. Probably each semester we need to be offer minimum one whatever the 4 credits subject under the Swayam platform. But after COVID 2021, they made that were the revised guidelines. Under the revised guideline, they are given for the weightages for the up to 40% of the credit weightages given for the as well as for the Swayam platform under the blended learning. This is something we need to be rethinking it as a teachers. Probably in the upcoming days, probably the Government of India or maybe Ministry of Education or maybe respective national coordinator, maybe ACT or maybe UGC, whatever the thing. These are all the regulatory body stringently implementing. We need to be followed for the 40% of the credit need to be allowed for the MOOC courses. Only in our traditional classroom, we need to be stick out to the 60% of the courses. Rest 40% that has to learn through the Swayam platform or something like this is already there in the guidelines. Probably if they're stringently implementing for the Government of India, probably the teacher need to be orientation towards for the developing for the MOOC courses. Then these are the some of the because best of knowledge and the best of teacher. This is one of the advantage, because even if taking for the first cycle, second cycle, third cycle, whichever cycle the developed for the various courses, so many peer professors were there in the National Law School or maybe taken into consideration Institute of Medical Science or taken into JNU, whichever the premier institutions were there. These are all the peer professors that developed for the various courses. These courses probably they can access for the in our student. This is one of the best of knowledge, best of teachers. This is something very important under the Swayam platform. Then also various courses is allowed there in the thing. Probably as of now we have the 10th cycle is recently is completed. We are that whatever the December we started for the 11th cycle. This is something very important we need to understand. Then as a teacher, when you developing for the MOOC courses, we need to take some kind of mindset before taking the decision what has to be done. Because this is an eligibility criteria, probably now they made for the modified, because in the earlier cases, the eligibility criteria is given for the minimum 10 years teaching experience in the PG level. So this is were there in the earlier thing. Then later what they did, 5 years PG level teaching, they are eligible for the developing the MOOC courses. Now what they did it, as far as an understanding now, because of the various intervention of the thing, then the only thing they required for the minimum 5 years experience, either in the PG level or maybe UG level. So this is something they made for the recent modification. Based on the thing that is for the eligibility criteria, any teacher having for the undergraduate level, postgraduate level teaching minimum 5 years experience, they can develop for the own MOOC course. This is something for there. Then also course selection, you decide whether is you want to touch the course, because in our whatever the CBCS, whatever the choice-based credit system, whatever the thing in the presently we are following for the entire country or maybe in our entire state. Based on the CBCS, we have the some of the subject is the core subject, some of the subject we call it as an elective subject, some of the subject that taking into consider, some of the subject we call it as a core, then some of the subject is soft core, hard core, something like that. Based on the thing, you decide it whether you want to taking for the which are all the courses we are going to be taking, whether you want to taking for the developing for the touching for the core subject, or maybe you want to go for the elective. As far as an understanding, in our university, we given for the more emphasis given for the open learning. Any student taking for the Swayam, probably we given for the flexibility for adding the credit in the open elective or something like that. Then also you decide for the target audience. Then also what are the courses is demand driven. This is something very important in the present context. Which are all the courses is more important in the present domain. This is very important. Probably as a teacher, you decide which is the demand courses in the present context based on the in the present scenario. So this is something probably you're all familiar with the thing, because digital, because some of the subject made available in the Swayam plot probably taken into consider for the thing. One of the thing, digital marketing. This is something very important, because already in the present context, what is the role of the digital marketing? Then also taking for the what is the purpose of digital marketing is something like that. Then also some of the thing probably in the cyber crime. This is something very important, because a lot of happening in the on the online transaction, because a lot of crimes is also happening in the simultaneously. Then again, we need to understand for the what has to be done for the these cyber crime. Some of the courses is made available. So this is something we need to be understand for the which are all the demand driven courses are there. Then also by and large, you are all aware of it in the present context, as well as for the these as well as in the digital era. Lot of things is happening. Probably you are all heard about for the chat GPT. Probably then under the chat GPT, probably the very minimal role will be there as a researcher, probably taken into consider. Whatever the text, whatever the article you are writing, probably run it in the chat GPT, probably will get corrected in the whatever the thing. Then also you will make some kind of, these are all the some other thing upcoming areas coming. Then also probably under the chat GPT, if you ask some questions, probably will get an instant answers. So this is something in the upcoming days, lot of changes is happening for the entire globe, as well as for the education. We need to be update in ourselves, taking into consider for the on par with this digital era, taking into consider. That's why we need to be as a teacher when you're developing for the MOOC courses, we need to be taking into consider for the what are the demand driven courses. Then also taking into consider the demand in the masses, courses, syllabus coverage. Then also taking creation of the team. This is something very important, because very difficult as a teacher, very difficult to concentrate for the, because we have so many other day-to-day routine work, as well as for the thing teaching and also research, then also taking into consider for the various project and other kind of thing. Probably we need to create a team based on the thing. Probably you can create a team in your own institute or maybe some sister institute. Then you can develop the course. Probably course coordinator probably can concentrate for the 40% of the content need to be delivered. The rest 60% probably can opt for the some in your department expertise or maybe sister department expertise. Based on the thing, you can take it into consider for the thing. Then also taking into consider. Then as soon as if you're developing for the MOOC courses, probably I think each university there is in Swayam coordinators for the entire country they created. Some of the universities still they have not appointed for the Swayam coordinator. Probably some of the universities they're doing very well as well as for the developing the MOOC courses and as well as for the enrollment on various contexts. Based on the thing, probably you can approach your in the consent university for developing the MOOC courses. Probably you should have they will given for the consent letter. Based on the consent letter, probably we can submit for the whichever the national coordinator for the Swayam. Probably will get another. This is again we need to be developing the MOOC courses. Probably need to be followed this criteria, as well as for the eligibility criteria in the present context. Only should have 5 years teaching experience either in the PG level or the UG level. They can participate for the developing for the MOOC courses. Then taking for the further, these are all the some of the things, homework before content creation. These are all the some of the things were there probably in the second session will be discussed. What should the requirement for the as a teacher when you're developing for the MOOC courses. Then taking for the under the thing already given for the various teams, probably you need to understand for the we call it as a subject matter experts. Under the subject matter expert, again, we need to be a reviewer. Probably whatever the content as a teacher delivered, somebody has reviewed the content, whether the content is relevant or not, based on your whatever the unit of syllabus you device. Then also we need to be understand for the editors, because whatever the content you delivered in the video. Then somebody has to edit the content. This is again we need to mention. Then also we require multimedia team for the studio, animation. These are all the some of the things were there. As well as for our University of Mysore is concerned, we have the whatever the Education Multimedia Resource Center is there, EMMRC. Then also we have the MLRC is there in the thing, because whatever the content is there, then you can separate multimedia team. They will help you for, they will assist for taking into consideration for the developing for the MOOC courses. Then taking into consideration at the time of submitting your proposal, we need to be go for introductory video of the whichever the subject you decided. Then again, in the first stage of your proposal, probably we need to be clear whichever the subject that has to be placed before your board of studies. Based on the thing, these are all the subject name. Then these are all the whatever the unit of that whatever the content of the unit of particular paper that need to be placed before your board of studies. These are all the subject you are going to be offering under the Swayam platform. Based on if the board of studies is cleared in the some subject, there is no issue for the allowing for the under the Swayam platform. Then probably you can approach for the whichever the whatever the multimedia centers for the thing. Probably these multimedia center not only for the university level, then also Government of India under the Ministry of Education, they have empaneled for the so many private agencies. Probably more than 6-7 empaneled agencies were available. Probably whenever you go to that Ministry of Education under the Swayam platform, probably will have the name of the agencies. These agency will also assist you for taking for the developing for the MOOC course, not only for the these EMMRCs of the various universities. Then based on the thing, you have to prepare some kind of introductory video of the 5 minutes. Then also you can, each university there is a that university Swayam coordinator. These Swayam coordinator will facilitate, will help you for how to develop for the MOOC courses. Then also given for the sample from Swayam UGC MOOC site, they will also accessing. Then there is a proposal. Probably whenever you just you can click this UGC MOOCs Inflipt link. There is a proposal link. Then there is the thing. Then also taking into consideration for the each courses minimum 12 weeks, maximum 16 weeks. This is as far as what is there in our present in the regular mode of courses. Same kind of things for there. Minimum 12, maximum 16 weeks, even 15 weeks courses also there in the thing. They made it for the thing. Then as soon as you are submitting the proposal, this is again the two important things we need to be as a teacher, we need to be keep it in mind whenever you are developing for the MOOC courses. Whichever the courses you are developing for the undergraduate, probably respective that multimedia center taking for the EMMRCs will take the coordinating of these undergraduate courses. Any faculty we are interested to develop for the PG courses, we need to be followed. That has to be submitted through the online. That we to the that UGC MOOCs implement whatever the links were there. There you can go to the thing. We need to be upload all the proposal. Before uploading the proposal, probably you can consult your whatever the Swayam coordinator of respective university. They will help you for getting the consent letter from the respective university. Then also taking into consideration for the developing for the introductory video of the 5 minutes. Then also these are the some of the parameters we need to be followed as far as before developing for the MOOC courses. Then taking for the funding, because already you are aware, already I have mentioned in the thing. Sorry, as well as for the funding is concerned, because already given past 5-6 years, we are not getting any funding from the University Grant Commission with respect to major research project. Why that cancel for the major research project? They'll give for more emphasis. The teacher can be involved for developing for the MOOC courses. That is the thing. They'll give for almost 13.5 lakh for the each courses. Any faculty involving for the development of the MOOC courses in the 4 credit, they'll give for the project cost of 13.5 lakh. Then as soon as your whatever the proposal is uploaded, online you are submitting the proposal. There is a steering committee for the government level, that is for the Ministry of Education. The steering committee view your entire proposal as well as your introductory video. Then also checking with whether any courses already made available in the Swayam platform. Then they will give for the approval. If your proposal is approved, they will give 13.5 lakh is sanctioned. In the initial stage, they will give for the 10% of your whatever 13.5 lakh they will give for the host institute. Then also taking for the 1 week program. Usually earlier they are making for the 1 week training program for the course coordinator, how to develop the content. Then various things. Now this is as of now they are not following. Only thing that given for the respective multimedia center, they'll take care of conducting for the training program of the course coordinator, taking into concept for how to develop the MOOC courses. Then again taking for the 1 week content to be delivered as per the proposal. Need of all of the content from the UGC after confirmation remaining work to be executed. These are all some of the criteria were there. Then also taken into consideration the UGC, that is a spelling mistake, UGC over there. Then again login credential, then upload the content. These are some of the parameters were there that need to be followed. What is there in the under the process of whenever you're developing for the MOOC courses. Then The entire MOOC courses, again, we get taking for the 4 credit courses under the e-learning element. They are given for the more weightages for the video content. This is something very important. Then also taking into consideration for the thing, anybody are already access for the various MOOC courses, either in the RPIT program or various other program, probably you are well versed with the thing. Each video content, they split it into 30 minutes. Probably they are not given for the full stretch of 30 minutes. The thing, probably each video they given for the 10 minutes each, they made for the split. That is for the thing. Probably we need to be participant concentration need to be there for the thing that given that whatever the thing they divided into 30 minutes video lecture that need to split it into 10 minutes in each thing. That is made available for the each one over the platform. Then taking for this, again, we need to be taking for the 3000 words. Probably somebody want to delivering for the 30 minutes content. Probably should have a minimum. That's for the maximum. Probably minimum 2500 and probably maximum they set it for 3000 words should be there for the as a content. Then again, that need to be delivered under the multimedia or maybe they will do it in the data. Then also taken into consideration, we need to be followed for the multiple choice questions, true or false, sequencing. These are all the some of the things we need to be followed. Then also we followed, we can share the web links, then also interesting facts, so many things. These are some of the e-learning element can be added whenever you're developing for the MOOC courses. Then as far as an understanding, because we are all the teacher, finally, whatever the work you are doing, finally, we are linking with our, whatever these taking into consideration APA scoring, that is for the annual performance indicator, whatever the thing. Under the APA indicator and also APA scoring, they are given for the more weightages for the thing. Probably taken into consideration for the any faculty developing or completing for the 4 quadrant. They're taken into consideration for the quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. They'll given for the 20-point weightages is given. Then also taken into consideration some of the only for the faculty involved for the respective models, they'll given for the 5. These are all the some of the things are already available in the guidance. Probably go to the University Grant Commission that for the whatever the recruitment guidelines for the 2018 or maybe that whatever the recent one, whatever the revised version. Looking these guidelines, probably will understanding for the what is the APA scoring as well as for the MOOC is concerned. They'll also given for the more emphasis given for the MOOC courses is given. Then understanding for the entire 4 quadrant of these MOOC courses, they'll given for the quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Based on the thing under the quadrant 1, they'll given for the 50% weightage. 50% weightages means video and then audio content. Probably taken into consideration for the thing as well as understanding. 4 credit, you should have 40 hours. Totally, we need to be deliver the 40 hours. Out of 40 hours, the 20 hours should be there for the video and audio content. Probably we need to be deliver the lecture for the 20 hours. Rest 20 hours, we need to be focus on other rest of the content. Whatever the quadrant for the PDF, probably will give for the text, ebooks, probably sometimes what will happen. Even giving for the, some kind of textbook, probably the participant read the whatever the content, they have to write for the what is there in the summary of the book or something like that. Probably you share some video, probably some video developed by the either maybe World Bank or maybe Asian Development or whatever the thing. Based on the video, lecture video, probably they have to summarize what is there in the content we deliver in the that video, whatever. This is something we need to be followed for the quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Then also taking for the self-assessment, taking for the either you're taking for the multiple choice questions, short answers, so many things for that. So only thing is the 50% weightage is given for the quadrant 1 as well as for the developing for the MOOC courses. That is exclusively for the video and audio content. Rest 50% weightage is given for the e-content, web resources, self-assessment. This is something we need to be followed for the quadrant approach for the developing for the MOOC courses. Then these are all the some of the things. I will not go for the detailing. As a Swayam coordinator, because appointed by the respective university as well as for the respective institute, they have to follow some kind of procedure for the taking the initiative forward. These are already they made an attempt taking into consider. Online learning courses to be available on Swayam platform. As soon as course is made available, this is again issued under the guidance of 2016. Based on the thing, their notification will be there for the January 1st and November 1st. This is a commonality were there for the entire country. The courses is made available for the June 1st, November 1st. Based on the thing, then you decide notification. Then also taking for the credit transfer. This is something probably university or maybe respective institute you make for the provision in your regulation. Then how to mobility of these credit, how to transfer this credit, that's the thing. Because this is choices up to 20% course as well as for the 2016 regulation. Now 2021, there is a new regulation is made. That's for the revised regulation. They'll give for the up to 40% of the weightage is given for the Swayam. Probably in your department or maybe in your institute or maybe in your university, any student, probably you have the 74 credit or maybe 72 credit. Out of 72 credit, 40% of the credit are through the Swayam. Probably he will come on ask you for, you need to be transferred for all 40% of the credit through the Swayam platform in the degree. Then it is a mandate. Probably then only we need to be given for weightages for the 60% of our traditional classroom. This is something very important. Probably in the upcoming years, probably if the government of India or the Minister of Education stringently implementing for these guidances, probably we need to be stick on to that 40% of the credit can be allowed through the Swayam platform. This is something we need to be keep it in mind. Then the procedure is selection of the make amendment. This is something very important. Any university running for the Swayam courses, you make an amendment of in our regulation. What is the credit is allowed? Whether you allow credit of the 20%, 40% or only, what is the thing that need to be made it in your respective whatever the competent authority, or maybe you make some separate ordinance. That is also very important. Then selection of the courses, designate the course coordinator. Probably we call it as a mentors. We call it as a Swayam mentors. As well as for the University of Mysore, when we started for the developing MOOC courses in the 2017-2018, then we appointed for the department wise, we call it as Swayam mentor. These Swayam mentor will facilitate for the student. As soon as Swayam courses is released, then automatically we send it to the each Swayam mentors. The Swayam mentor will facilitate to the student. These are all the courses is available, made available in the Swayam platform. Then each student has to understanding for these courses, probably what are the content were there, it's available in the website of the Swayam portal. Then after that, make sure that how many students have enrolled, then how many students continuously participating for these courses. This is something very important. How many courses is participating for the online quizzes, how many that participant or maybe student taken into consideration for the submitting for the whatever the assignment in the whatever the deadline is fixed by the respective course coordinator. These are all the some of the things probably the facilitator, we call it as a Swayam mentor, will facilitate for all these components. Then also taken into consideration for the thing. Then disseminate the information, because this is widely disseminated, because I'll take a case example in the last probably for University of Mysore, what we are doing. Then as well as an understanding course registration, then also taking for the evaluation, then also certification. As soon as we get the certification, we also made mandate for in our whatever the competent authority, based on the thing that whatever the credit you have, that need to be transfer, or maybe mobility, credit mobility for the is her mark sheet. This is the mandate that is there in the thing, as well as for this is the procedure we need to be followed. Then also given for the role of the Swayam mentor, because each university there is an appointed by the one Swayam coordinator for the coordinating for the entire university or maybe entire institute. Then also they are appointed for the so many mentors for the each institute, because one of the interesting thing is probably I think whichever the university, whichever the institute is going for the under the NAC accreditation, they will ask you for the thing, how many mentors were there? What is the mentor and student ratio? This is something probably we need to keep it in mind. Somebody having for the taking for the charge of IQAC, or maybe taking for the coordinating for the NAC accreditation or whatever the thing. Probably they will have asking for the mentorship. This mentorship, this will help you for probably taking for the appointing for the mentors, probably Swayam mentor. This is only for the in the Swayam courses. Then also they will ask you for the in the overall courses. How we are making for the what is the mentorship, what is the ratio of the mentorship of the each courses. This is again teacher and student ratio. This is something very important. Probably we need to keep it in mind, because whichever the university going for the NAC accreditation, as well as for the taking for the NRF, probably this is mentorship is playing very important role. This is something there in the thing. As a mentor, we give one for the taking initiative of the MOOCs forward to the selected subject level, mandate student in the department, then also taking for the various enrollment of the student, dissemination of information. Then again, these are the some of the mandate component have to that whatever the examination, then the mentor will be take care of the in the respective the institute or maybe university, taking into consideration for the monitoring for the everything under the Swayam platform. Then taking for the elements of this under the developing for the MOOC course overall syllabus template. This is very important. The people already given as a suppose you are the course coordinator, you are developing for the MOOC courses. Probably you need to be prepared for the syllabus template. Then also taking for the pre and post course survey. This is something very important. Then also as soon as your course is there, there is a post course survey. Based on the assess for the what is the opinion of the participant. Is anything need to be asked about? Okay. What time is the break? Sir. Yes. We'll continue another 10 minutes or we'll take a break.
Sir, another 5 minutes. Please give a tie break, sir. Please.
Okay, sir.
Yes, yes.
So then again, we have pre and post course surveys. This is course survey. They'll given for the what is the whether whatever the courses you develop. whether the student is accepted your course. This is something very important. That is taking for the pre and post course surveys. Then also taking for the given for the course overview, taking into consideration what is the course about and all these content. Then also given for the course timeline. Then list of announcement. You are making for the various announcement. Probably taken into consideration. You are conducting for the first week itself. Some of the courses they are conducting the quiz. Understanding for the what is the knowledge level of the participant. This is something based on the quiz only you can assess for the what is the knowledge level of the participant. Then also taking for the thing, probably you are making some kind of assignment or you are making for the various other form of this assessment. Probably that need to be announced for the subsequent weeks, whatever the thing. Then also instruction on synchronized for the assignment engagement. These are some of the things probably we need to be followed as well as for the element of this development for the courses. Then looking for these guidelines as under the 2016 guidelines, already they are given for the thing. Every institute shall within 4 weeks from the date of issue of this regulation, you have to incorporate in the competent authority for credit mobility. This is something very important. We need to be keep it in mind. Whichever the university, they are not made mandate for credit mobility. Probably now itself we can take care of the thing. Probably can bring it to your concerned competent authority. Probably given for the scope for the competent authority for the credit mobility. Then also no university shall refuse any student for the credit mobility. Probably in your institute or maybe in your university, they enroll for the same courses, they have the credit. Then again mandate you need to be make provision in the credit mobility in your mark sheet, whichever the mark sheet issued by the concerned university as well as for the institute. This is something we need to be keep it in mind under the 2016 regulation. Then taking for the 2021 also made for the regulation. Under this regulation, they made it for the only up to 40% is allowed for the thing. Only up to 40% allowed under the Swayam. This is something the flexibility is given. Probably I think you are all aware of it in the present context. As per an understanding for the University Grant Commission, they are making for the regulation for the dual degree. At a time, in a student can join for the 2 degrees. In the either regular mode or maybe online mode or whichever the mode, that is already there is a guidelines. Based on the guidelines, probably they taken into consideration so much credit they have through the Swayam. Finally, we need to be awarded the degree. So this is something is coming up in the upcoming years. Then also University Grant Commission, they made mandate for these whatever the percentage, 40% or maybe 20%. Now they make it for the up to 40% allowed for the under the Swayam platform. Then recently we also attended for one meeting in the University Grant Commission. They are making for the digital university for the entire country. Under the digital university, any student earning credit through the Swayam, then the degree is awarded. So this is something is coming on in the upcoming days. Probably as a teacher, we need to be cope up with all these things. We need to be encouraging for developing the MOOC courses, then also encourage the student for the enrolling the Swayam courses. This is something we need to be understand. Probably in the next session, we can start with discussing for the e-content development under EPG Pathshala other content. Now I'll stop it for the break. Probably will continue after, sir, after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes, sir.
Sir, 11:45, sir. Next session starts.
Okay, so we'll start after.
Now it's tea break, but I request participants to stay on the line. I have some information to you. Okay. Dear participants, please be online. I need some clarification from your side. Okay. Sir, relax. Dear participants, please wait.